In this video, I'm going to show you the exact meta ad strategy I used to add $370,000 a month in 90 days for one of our clients. And I've used this same strategy to generate millions more for my own business. And this isn't some campaign structure or creative technique you've probably already seen before. Those don't fix the root cause issue of why your ads aren't working, which is exactly why you've tried all those strategies and your ROAS still sucks. This fixes the real issue, and it's the single most powerful strategy I found for turning around meta performance quickly. So let's break it down. The strategy is called rapid offer testing, and here's why it fixes the root cause when nothing else you've tried does. If your ads have stalled, you've probably already been testing more creatives and media buying to fix it. But creatives and media buying only change how you're selling. Your offer is what you're selling, and that's what sets the ceiling on your performance. Everything else just decides how close you get to that ceiling. So no matter how many creatives you test, you can't break past what your offer allows. If you put a better offer in front of your market, one that they actually want a lot more, you create a whole new ceiling that's orders of magnitude higher than any other creative test you could reach. And I learned that the hard way. A while back, we took a client from zero to $50,000 a day in ad spend in under 24 months. And during that stretch, scaling that shit up was on easy mode. They had a hot product and there was barely any competition. So all we had to do to scale it up was ramp up the ad spend and make more creatives. That's it. Then out of nowhere, our ROAS completely started tanking and we could no longer scale the ads. And it just kept getting shittier every single month. So naturally, we had to fix this problem because I didn't want to lose the account. They're paying us too much money. So we started talking to a bunch of different consultants, advisors, watching all the YouTube videos, and all the advice we got fell into one of two buckets. Either bucket number one of testing more creatives because we're apparently running into ad fatigue, or the second bucket, which is consolidate your campaigns to better train the algorithm because you've got too many ad sets running. This is what everyone told us. So we listened to them. We 10x'd our creative output and we rebuilt our entire campaign strategy. And here's the kicker. Nothing fucking changed for 6 months. If anything, results got shittier. And that period was super frustrating because we were working harder than ever and we had nothing to show for it. It just felt like we were on this constant hamster wheel. Then I remembered something from when I was working with my first mentor that changed everything. Whenever his ROAS started tanking on a product or offer that had been running for a while, his main focus would shift from testing new creatives to testing new offers every single week. And the reason behind that is he knew that offers naturally have a lifespan. You scale it as hard as you can when it's hot, but eventually more competition shows up, the market gets used to seeing it, performance drops, and it needs to be refreshed. And I saw firsthand just how much of a bigger lever offer testing was compared to something like creative or targeting. Because we test an offer 1 week, find a winner, and 30 days later, it would be doing 6 figures a month and completely change our ROAS and economics. There's no other creative test or fucking media buying hack that can have that kind of impact. So when I remembered this, the problem became obvious. We'd been running the same offer on this account for years, and the market had gotten used to it, and there was way more competition now than when we first started. So the offer was the root cause issue. And instead of fixing the damn offer, we'd spent 6 months fiddling with everything like testing creatives and media buying strategy instead of fixing, the root cause. So we flipped our priority. Instead of testing more creatives and ad hacks, our focus became testing new offers every single week. And within the first month of doing this, we added an extra $83,000 a month in revenue. And within 90 days, our offer tests were adding over $370,000 a month in new revenue. And that is a bigger impact on ROAS than every creative test we'd run in the past 6 months before it combined. And that's when I learned that when performance stalls for a while, the biggest lever you can pull is testing new offers. Now, I know when I say that, you might be thinking testing new offers takes forever or takes way too much time, but I'm going to walk you through the exact process that we use to test offers quickly so you can find new winning offers that scale efficiently. The first thing you need to understand is the 3 types of offers you can test, starting with the first type, enhancing your hero offer. And this is where you take an offer that's historically sold well for you and you make it more attractive by adding better guarantees, bonuses, payment terms, scarcity, and urgency. And this is your lowest hanging fruit because you're taking something that's already working well for you historically and making it even better. And a great example of this is 4Patriots. Their core product is the Patriot Power Generator 2200X. But look at all the free bonuses you get when you buy it. You get 2 free solar panels, a 25-foot extension cord, 4 free solar power cells, online classes, a survival library, and more. For a guarantee, they have a 3-year warranty. For urgency, they add a free roll and go cart. And for payment terms, you can pay for 1 payment of $2,999 or 6 payments of $598 to make it easier to buy. Same hero product, but a completely different offer that's enhanced. Next, we have type 2 offers, which is repackaging existing products. And this is where you look at your existing product suite and figure out how to package what you already have into irresistible offers for your market. And there's a few ways you can do this. First, you've got bestseller bundles, where you package your top sellers together, like Dr. Squatch does this with their top selling soaps. Next, you've got bundling around a complete outcome or problem. So Manscaped does this with their Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. It's an all-in-one grooming kit that gives you everything you need to feel clean and confident down below. So it includes the body trimmer, the deodorant, the boxers, everything. So instead of buying a single product, you're buying a solved problem end to end. Then there's a build your own bundle, like LMNT does, where the customer picks the flavors they want. Same products, but now the customer is building the offer themselves. Because sometimes there's a winning offer in your catalog you've simply never tested. And finally, we have type 3 offers, which is new breakthrough offers. And this one takes the most work, but in my experience, it is the most powerful when you get it right. Now, a breakthrough offer is when you identify a product or an offer type that's already selling well in your market, and you create your own version of it that's clearly differentiated. So here's how I did this in my agency. I noticed a trend where B2B businesses were selling offers with a high perceived cost at a flat monthly rate. For example, hire a social media manager for $99 a month, or hire a creative agency for $500 a month. That angle just kept showing up over and over, so I knew it was working to my market. So I created my own version, which was hire a full-time marketing team for $500 a month. And that offer got me more demand than I could handle for 2 reasons. First, it was a new angle on a proven concept. And number 2, it went to a new market, which was local business owners. And that's the key with breakthrough offers. You're not copying the offer, you're differentiating it. So those are the 3 types of offers: enhancing your hero offer, repackaging existing products, or building a breakthrough offer. Real quick, if you're finding this video helpful, go grab our advertiser's playbook if you haven't already. It includes 100+ of our winning ads, emails, split tests, and our full workflows that you can use to scale your ads further, including this entire offer testing process. So links in the description to grab it, or the first pinned comment. Go get that shit. Anyways, let's get back to it. Now that you understand the 3 types of offers, let's go through the workflow for actually testing them. And there's 4 steps. And pay attention to the last one, because there's a rule in there that almost everybody gets wrong, and it's the single biggest reason offer tests fail. So step 1 is brainstorming offers. So schedule a 2 to 4 hour offer brainstorming session. And you can do this yourself or bring in the smartest marketers you've got. And I recommend keeping it between 1 to 5 people. That's the sweet spot. And here's the most important rule for that session. Pick one offer type and stay on it. So you're either spending that whole session on enhancing hero offers, or repackaging offers, or on breakthrough offers. If you ping pong between all 3, the session's gonna get scattered and you'll walk out with nothing sharp. And your goal with this session is to get at least 3 to 5 offers on the board. So here's exactly what you're asking in that room to find these offers. If you're brainstorming enhancements to your hero offer, list out your hero product and ask yourself 4 questions. 1, can you make the guarantee stronger? So can you promise a bigger outcome, or get faster results, or have a longer time window to reduce risk? Number 2, can you add better bonuses? So physical products, softwares, services, or information products which cost you nothing to add. Number 3, can you improve the payment terms? So a payment plan or a lower entry price point. And finally, can you add urgency or scarcity? Now, urgency is time. So for example, offer expires June 30th, and scarcity is units, so only 350 available. And you don't need all 4 of these. You need the ones that make your offer meaningfully harder to refuse, which in most cases is better bonuses and a stronger guarantee. If you're repackaging, map out your entire product suite and ask yourself 2 questions. Which standalone products have I never tested as an offer? And number 2, which products could be bundled into something people actually want? For example, a bestseller bundle, or a bundle that completely solves one specific problem. And if you're brainstorming breakthrough offers, this one has 2 parts. First, you find a hot offer in your market, and then you create your own version of it that's clearly differentiated. So to find one, you're answering a single question, which is what's already working in my market right now? And to answer it, build a list of the top brands in your market running ads on Meta. And the more brands you have on this list, the better, because the money is made in the research. Then use a tool like Foreplay or the Meta Ads library to see what's working for them right now. So you can pull up their longest running ads and look at their landing pages those ads are driving to. If most of the brand spend and ads are driving to a single offer or landing page, that's your signal that that offer is working. So do this for each brand on your list. And once you do this, you're going to find several hot offers, and usually you'll spot a few trends of hot offers that are forming. And once you found a hot offer that you want to build around, here's how you create your own differentiated version of that offer. And there's 4 ways to do this. The first way is a better product. And I mean the product itself, not the wrap around it. You might have, let's say, a better supplier or better R&D or a skill set that nobody else has, where you can build a fundamentally better version of that product. Number 2 is a better guarantee. You might find a way to have a much stronger guarantee for that offer. The third way is better positioning. So either a new angle or a new market that you can take this offer to. And fourth is better pricing, either cheaper or more premium. So pick one of these and make it obvious. If someone can't instantly tell how your offer is different, it won't work on paid ads. I cannot state this enough. Now, at the end of your brainstorming session, you pick one offer to test. And what you're looking for is the one offer with the most upside that you have the best gut feeling about. Like, it should genuinely excite you, and you should have a good feeling that it will likely land with your market. And that is the offer that you want to lead with and test that week on ads. Which takes us to step 2, creating your offer assets. Now, once you pick the offer to test, you need 3 things to launch it: ads, a landing page, and audiences. And the most important thing to understand here is that none of this needs to be fancy. The offer is doing the heavy lifting. A good offer should produce results with very simple ads and landing pages. And I'll prove that to you by showing you real examples. So let's start by making the ads. We're gonna use the minimum viable ad framework to do this, which has 4 parts. Part 1 is we state the desired outcome. So we start by calling out the core outcome your market wants to hook them in. Part 2 is we state our offer. So we quickly explain what makes it unique and what the key benefits are to build desire. Part 3 is social proof. So if you have any testimonials, reviews, or data, use them to back up your claims and reduce skepticism. And part 4 is our call to action. So tell them exactly what to do next to enter the next step in your funnel. So let me break down an example of this so you can see it in action. So this ad I shot while I was living with my parents and completely broke, and it generated me millions of dollars in revenue. And this proves that the offer carries most of the weight. So let's play it.
Hey, Tisu here, and I'll keep this quick. If you want to scale up your revenue and sales,
so right away, I call out the desired outcome of my market. If you want to scale up your revenue and sales, that's what hooks them in, which is why I'm saying that. Let's keep going.
We guarantee a 10x ROI working with us. So for every $1 you give us, you're guaranteed to make $10 back in return. And want to know the best part? We'll do it purely on results. So
now I'm stating my offer. I'm saying we guaranteed 10x ROI. So for every $1 you give us, you're guaranteed $10 back, and we'll do it purely on results. So that's what's building desire and explaining the offer simply. Let's keep going.
No upfront fees. There's no useless monthly retainers that lead to no results. None of that. We only get compensated on the additional revenue and sales we bring into your company that you're currently missing out on. So that way you can't lose. Now, if you're skeptical after hearing a big promise like that, which you should be,
So now I'm gonna address social proof, because I know what's on their mind after they've heard this big promise from my offer saying 10x ROI, is they're skeptical. They're like, prove it. So I'm gonna address that head on by saying, if you're skeptical after hearing a big promise like that, which you should be, this is the internet after all, and then I'm gonna address this. So let's keep playing it.
This is the internet after all. Just click on this ad and let me back up everything I just said. You're gonna see countless 6, 7, and 8-figure brands who you might recognize who work with us to increase their revenue and sales in their company. And I'm confident if you're the right person, we can do it for you too, and we'll do it purely on results.
So that's me stating the social proof. I'm saying if you're skeptical, you're gonna see countless 6, 7, 8-figure brands who we've worked with, and I'm confident if you're the right person, we can do it for you too. So now their skepticism's gone. So now we can lead into the call to action here.
And guarantee a 10x ROI working with us. So if that sounds fair to you, go ahead, click on this ad. It's gonna take you to a page with a video that explains things in more detail. And if you like what you see, go ahead, book in a call, and let's talk.
That's the whole call to action. Super simple. Go ahead and click on this ad. If you like what you see, book in a call and let's talk. Drives them to the next step in the funnel. So that is the ad. You can see it's very straightforward here. I'm letting my offer do a majority of the heavy lifting for me. Now for the landing page, we're gonna use the minimum viable landing page framework, which has 5 parts. Part 1 is the headline, where we state the offer and what makes it unique. Part 2 is we show the offer. So we demonstrate it with photos, an explainer video, or both. Part 3 is proof. So show proof the offer works with testimonials, results, or press features if you have any. Part 4 is you explain the offer. So go into more detail about the offer and keep it simple and straight and to the point. You don't need to overcomplicate it here. And then part 5 is our call to action. So a clear button to enter the next step in your funnel. So here's what that looks like. So we start with the headline here. It immediately states our offer and what makes it unique. We say we will scale your company's revenue purely on results. Guaranteed 10x ROI, pay nothing out of pocket to get started. Then right underneath that, we have our video that explains the offer in more detail to build desire. And we have social proof right underneath the headline that says trusted by 250 plus brands, 100 million generated. Because again, after I have a big promise saying 10x ROI guaranteed or pay nothing out of pocket, they're skeptical. We need to address that. Now we also have social proof down below, which shows a bunch of results from major brands that they can scale through, from Inc. 5000 brands to major celebrities. And they can scroll down this forever to just get a bunch of proof. So they're like, damn, okay, these guys obviously know what they're doing, or else they wouldn't have these major celebrities and brands giving them proof and all these case studies. So next, underneath that, we have our call to action because we need a very clear call to action that tells our user the next step to do to enter our funnel, where it says, watch the video, schedule your call using the button below to qualify. And they hit this button and it takes them to a page where they can book in their call. And I really like having a call to action pretty high up on the page. And the reason behind that is I know with a really strong offer like this, if they're like, yes, I like the offer, the video explains the details, a good chunk of them will just book directly from here if all of that checks out. So that's why I like to have my call to action there. And then we have a section that explains my offer in more detail for the people that want more written information, because I know most people aren't going to watch that video. So I try to keep this really high level to give them the key benefits of my offer to build desire, where I say, we will scale your company's revenue purely on results. Phase one's immediate revenue, where we're going to find immediate levers we can pull to generate revenue in the first 14 days. Then we optimize your sales process. Then we hyperscale things up. And the end result of those 3 steps is we guarantee a 10x ROI. So it's very high level. This isn't award-winning copy, and I'm not trying to have award-winning copy. I'm trying to make my offer do a majority of the selling for me. That's the whole point of testing these lightweight offers. And last, your audiences. And you've got 2 options here. If you already have a control audience that performs well for you, you can test using that. But what I'd recommend is testing 3 audiences: a broad audience, an individual interest audience, and a bundled audience where you stack a few of your top performing interests together. The reason behind this is there's been multiple times when I test an offer where it flops on one audience, but absolutely crushes on another and scales. So what this looks like for me, since I'm a marketing agency, is testing a broad audience of USA 25 to 55, an individual interest audience of digital marketing, and a bundled audience of digital marketing and online advertising stacked together. And the last thing you need before you launch is decide your target cost per result. You need to know this number so you can measure success. Once you've got all your assets ready, you move on to step 3, which is launching the offer. So simply launch the offer on Meta Ads following your standard process. Nothing crazy here, just get that shit live. Then once the offer is being tested, we move on to step 4, which is reviewing the results. This is where most people overcomplicate things, and it's actually the simplest step because there's only 2 outcomes. Outcome 1 is your offer hits your target cost per result. If that's the case, great. Start scaling it up to see how far it goes. Outcome number 2 is your offer doesn't hit your target cost per result on any of the audiences you tested. And if that's the case, kill the offer and run the process again with a new offer. And that second outcome right there is where most people fuck up, because you're probably thinking, what if the offer is close to profitability? What if I can just optimize it a little bit further? But that thinking is what wastes your time, because in my experience, almost every single winning offer I've tested showed promise right away. Like it was profitable on one or multiple audiences right out the gate. Like it was very simple. I've never had to grind an offer or optimize an offer into profitability. The ones that were winners took off almost immediately. And that is what we're looking for. We are looking for a heater offer that can scale relatively easily. So don't spend your time trying to optimize offers into winners. If it's not showing promise at launch, kill it and go find another one that will. Then you just rinse and repeat this process until you find a heater offer that can scale and turn around your return on ad spend. And once you find that offer, scale that shit up hard with more creatives and media buying. Then when it starts to fatigue, which it will over time, run this process again to find your next winning offer. So that's the whole strategy. When your ads stall and you've tried all the different creative tests and media buying tricks, but nothing is working, this is the lever to pull. Run 1 offer test a week using this process, and you'll find a new offer that raises your ceiling instead of spending months wasting your time. Now, if you found this video helpful and you want 100+ winning ads, emails, split tests, and more that you can use to scale your ads further, go grab our Advertiser's Playbook. It's 100% free, and it's like a cheat code for scaling ads. You can ask me any questions in there as well. So go grab it, and I'll see you inside.